Hello. I'm just waiting for Kinga to join. Hi. How is everyone today? Oh, okay. Bear with me. I've never gone live with somebody before, so I'm not 100% sure uh, how to do it. But hi, everyone. Oh, hello.
Um, Cannibal. Oh.
Oh, you're upside down.
No, I am. I'm trying to sort of swing.
Unless it's me who's upside down.
I'm,
Somebody's upside
I'm
down.
upside down.
I know what you mean. No, I
Hi.
mean about me. Hi. Yeah,
Hey,
you made it. Oh, brilliant. Good.
I
Hi
think.
there. How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was giving my son his dinner and then it was like I was waiting to, yeah, yeah, we're all here, so brilliant. Nice to see everyone. It's so weird, like seeing people like
I know.
online in real life almost, kind of. Yeah.
It's a
But
different
amazing.
dimension. Yeah, it's a different dimension when you're seeing pictures and text and videos to have this live situation. Hi, everybody. Hey,
And
guys.
can I say
Hi.
what a great hair day you're both having, so amazing. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but it's horrendous where I am, so.
Oh, it's snowing right now. Yeah, it's snowing quite a bit. So I'm looking forward
Oh,
to playing
amazing.
snow later.
I'm jealous. I love the snow. We've just got gales and like rain and wind and everything horrible. So yeah, cool. So I'm not the best at looking at these things when people say hi and stuff. So I'm really sorry if I miss anyone talking.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
try to keep and I'll try to.
so welcome to the Women's Day thing, although it's men as well. But you know we're women, so we're just going to celebrate that fact. Um, yeah. So Kinga, you've for everyone who doesn't know, I'm sure everyone here is like, yeah, I know who Kinga is, but this is Kinga
Hi
and this is
there.
Kay. So Kinga, can we start with you then? So you've released your single this week, Hurricane, and it's really great. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to sing on it, but nodules. But when
Oh,
I get rid of the nodules, I will sing it. I'm equipped with my vocal zone and my, I don't even know what these are, Jatemans or something. Um,
oh,
yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
it's too much talking. That's the problem.
Too much talking. Yeah, well, you know what? It's I appreciate the chattiness because now I'm back in Canada and so small talk is a real thing. But where I am in Hamburg, there's not a lot of small talk, so I kind of miss that. I miss the chattiness. I love it. So yeah, so I released it. I guess it will be a week ago now. And so thank you for everyone if you know the song who's listened or streamed it or been a part of it. I'm exhausted.
Oh,
I woke up today. Yeah, I woke up today and I was like, ooh, because I usually prepare for a release about 6 weeks before. Yeah, and then once it's out, and so today when I woke up, I felt this overwhelming sense of like insecurity and kind of, I don't know, because things slowed down. So I'm just kind of felt the heaviness of the world today. I'm not like 100%, but anyway, those are the days when you kind of have to keep going. And but yeah, so with this song, it took a lot of out of me because it was a more vulnerable one. Yeah, so where I talked about like a vulnerable experience, but it was also the most rewarding because of the response where people felt inspired or something like that. So that was really nice. Yeah.
well, thank you for sharing your vulnerability. I know what you mean. Sometimes when you put a song out there, you're kind of sharing like yourself, aren't you? Like aspects of yourself, and you kind of feel a bit like, oh my God. And people are always like, who's that about? Or what were you feeling then? And you sort of feel exposed. But it's a great song, and thank you for sharing it with me and giving people the opportunity really to sing along and things. And I will get there. It might just take me like 6 months or something. You'll release like 500 songs afterwards, and yeah. But so
Oh,
are
thank
you
you,
able
Tracy.
to tell us a little bit more about Hurricane? So obviously it's a metaphor.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. So I think with that song, so I wrote it. So thank you first of all for putting a couple of my songs on your playlist. I checked out some of the music on there, and it was really, really, really great and nice of you to do that. So one of the songs there I wrote was about a really vulnerable experience as well. And then with Hurricane, I wanted to really capture the journey from feeling powerless to powerful. So that journey, that was very important to me, because there are songs out there about fighting, like, I don't know, fight song, or what doesn't kill you make you stronger, like these inspiring kind of fight songs. But I really, for me, it was very important to start off with the vulnerability, and then at the end have like a big bang of like, yes, I can make it. And yeah, to capture that actual journey. So that was really important to me. Yeah, so that's what I would say about that. So it really, and then I think, and then with International Women's Day and stuff like that, as I was writing it and as I was recording it, I kept thinking about all the women over the years who inspired me and who've been through things that were super difficult and were maybe unsupported, or weren't, people didn't believe in them, or judged, or all that kind of stuff, but still made their own way and carved their own path despite those obstacles. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, I really like that line about making your own way and sort of doing it on your own and getting there.
Yeah.
Who would you say inspired you? Because you said about women inspiring you for the song.
Yeah, so I thought a lot about Dolly Parton. She's one of my idols. Yeah, she's it's not that I'm not the biggest country music fan, but as a whole, she kind of grew up in poverty and in a difficult environment, but she didn't give up on her dreams, and she was really challenged a lot as a songwriter as well, and she was really criticized for her voice. And I love to sing, but I'm not like a super trained vocalist and or anything like that. So I was always feeling a bit not like, I had situations where I was judged in terms of like not having the perfect vocal package, or my vocals being.
Who does have the perfect vocal package? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, like,
Yeah.
not me at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
And then, and then I thought about, well, what inspires me about an artist? And so there's so much more to that. There's their personality, or their charisma, or their story, or how they, like, so Dolly has this great sense of humor despite what she's been through. She runs a lot of charity organizations. She does a lot of things for other people, despite like all these hardships. So yeah, so that was one of the things. And
Oh, that's really interesting, because I mean, I knew who Dolly Parton was mainly because I was, if anyone knows, at Thorpe Park in the UK, when you're queuing up for the log flume, they play Dolly Parton, that Jolene, Jolene, and I was like, oh, that's a cool song. I didn't really know much about her, and then when I found out that she was this great songwriter, I was like, oh wow, okay, because looks can be deceiving.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a judgmental thing to say, but naturally we all judge people by how they look to begin with, and sometimes people don't go further, do they? And yeah, she's a great songwriter. So I didn't know that you were specifically influenced by her. So that's really cool.
I am. And she also, when she changed from country to pop, then she got like a lot of heat about that. But I think it's so natural, and we should accept and support people when they evolve and experiment with different things, especially in music, because I have so many influences and I don't like to stick in just one lane. And I think when you can use those influences, you can create something bigger than just what could be categorized to stick in one genre, So
yeah, I agree. And you don't want to be put inside a box either. And I think the trouble is, especially with women, not trying to make a sweeping statement, but I do sometimes feel like we're put in a box, like, you are this, like, okay, so like can't be anything else. I mean, like, my profession is being a teacher, and I think sometimes people think I can't be anything else. It's like, it's always a shock when people realize I don't actually live in the school. But yeah.
I'm a teacher too, actually. I teach English as a foreign language, but
amazing.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Is that how you met your husband?
No. Oh, we're getting into that. No, don't worry, I could quickly share. So I met him a while ago. So he's a German and I'm a Canadian. So we met like, I don't know, 13 years ago in Canada, working for a social service organization. So after Germans did their high school, they had to do 1 year of social service. And we were both living in a group home, working with people with disabilities and kind of creating this home environment for them. And we like fell in love and had a 6-year long distance relationship.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I ended up in Germany, and yeah, that's where I am for 7 years now.
oh
So,
my goodness.
living the
That's
German
quite a
life.
culture shock. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never been to Germany, but I imagine it's quite different to Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of differences. And one of your questions actually was like, how has living there inspired you to create your music, or has it influenced your music? And honestly, the songs that are playing there are much different than what is playing here on the radio, for one thing. Although I don't listen to the radio that often, mainstream radio. But anyway, but one of the things is that because I'm not fluent, I can't understand what everyone is saying. I often feel pretty alone or isolated. Especially in the
Oh,
beginning. So I would just like end up in these cafes with like blankets and heated blankets. And, I don't know. It's really cute because they have like their patios are open all year long, which is why they have these heated blankets where we live. And I'd write on these patios drinking coffee alone in the
oh,
rain, in the
that
summer.
sounds really romantic though. It sounds like a romantic novel. And
Yeah.
then you sort of like hold your mug, you cradle the mug and like, you know.
I do, I
Oh,
do. I agree with that. Yeah. And then I would just like watch people, not in a creepy way. I would just like people
not in a
watch.
creepy way. Glad that you came to that.
Yeah. And think of stories and come up with like what their lives might be like and stuff like that. So that's when I started writing songs and releasing music, is when I moved there. Yeah. And it was
Oh, amazing. That's really interesting. You've answered some of the questions. I've got my amazing Jack Sparrow book with my questions in. So I've
yes.
got some questions for you, and I've got some questions that other people have asked. And also, if people want to ask questions for anyone in here, really, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not very good at multitasking.
Oh, you're doing
So if I
great.
miss something, I'm not being rude. Yeah.
I'll
So
keep
I
an
was,
eye out. I'll keep an eye out
yeah,
on the people. Yeah. Hi,
I can't
guys.
actually
Thanks
read
for
my
joining.
writing.
Woohoo.
I was going to ask, when did you first start singing then and writing music?
Yeah, so I guess a simple answer would be when I was a child, like about 7 years old, and that's when I would start and get my parents
Oh,
sang.
that's really young.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah, I was in
really
choirs
young.
and stuff. Yeah, a lot of them were like because my parents were part of this Polish church, so a lot of it was like Polish folk singing in choirs in church. So actually I grew up on a lot of like gospel and hymns and stuff like that too. Oh,
Oh,
thank you,
okay.
Jason. Yeah. And so what else? And then we had we started learning a lot of instruments as children too. We had a little family band going. I have an older sister and older brother, a younger brother too. And yeah, so that was when I started. And I made up a lot of songs as a kid, actually. Oh, hello, Jules. Yeah. So I would be, that's when it kind of started. I would just process my world and my environment, my surroundings through making up silly songs about everything. And in the car ride, taking it's bath time, anything I had to do, I would make up a song about it. So I guess, as you know, I think I went down, and then I went down a few different career paths as an adult, and then I was like, well, we often just give up these things that brought us so much joy, and I just realized how healing and it was to write and sing, and I needed to continue that in some way. Yeah.
Definitely. I think, I mean, having children kind of inspires you in a way to look at it
Yeah.
through their eyes, and they don't care what's going on. They want to play with that car or whatever, and they just do it, and they want to dance around, and it's quite liberating seeing them. And you think, oh, actually, as adults, we're so kind of square, really, in comparison. And yeah, I think it's sad when we have passions and we kind of give them up. And I feel like I did that a little bit when I went to university. I sort of thought like, oh no, I'm leaving music behind, even though it's something I'd always done and loved. And then I sort of got back into reality, and I was like, actually, no, I'm going to go back to that whole singing thing, and I don't care if people don't like it. I'll just do it anyway.
That's
So
the
yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the easier thing about being for me, an adult, is that I don't care anymore.
I know, we adults. It's
Yeah,
really
so
weird, isn't it? It's like I
it's
sometimes feel like I'm a child still. It's like, oh my God, I have responsibilities.
oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
an adult child. I couldn't agree with that 100%. But but just going through like already different stages of life, if you're just gonna do what you love, and it doesn't really matter so much if people don't like it anymore. Whereas if I was a teenager or something, I was a lot more insecure about would be about more about doing this kind of stuff. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think being a teenager is rough. Yeah, I don't think I want to go back to that. I don't know about anyone else, but it's just like you just constantly searching for who you are and experimenting and things like that. And yeah, it's really rough.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Callie,
that's
did
it.
you want to say anything at all?
Me.
Yeah, did you want to say anything?
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Like, if I just sort of give
I
you
was
the
waiting. I didn't interrupt.
Oh,
cool. Because if anyone wants to say anything anytime, I've just noticed that Jason has managed to join, even though he shouldn't be here. So thank you, Jason. I
oh,
appreciate that. I think
Jason
he was
undercover.
concerned that I was gonna chat to his boss or something, but yeah. But yeah, I'm not very good at like this scrolling thing. It's like I feel like I'm an old granny or something. My nan is better at this kind of stuff than me. And I'm just like, where's it going? She's 90, so she's like, I was on
Oh,
my iPad, I was FaceTiming. It's like, ooh. But yeah. Um, so I was also going to say, so I've asked that one. Um, which songs do you think specifically demonstrate female experiences, so explicitly female experiences as opposed to just general experiences?
oh wow. Like in like any song and at all?
I meant for your songs,
Oh,
but
okay.
you could always go on to other people's songs if you wish.
No, it's
So
okay. I
like
was like,
it's
oh.
explicitly a female song.
No, great. Well, I would say well, okay, well, there's two. So I had this song Still Standing, which wasn't a very popular song that I released because I had a few songs that were, most of my songs were very happy and upbeat. And then I
How
released
dare
this
you
like
be upbeat? How dare you? I would love to be more upbeat. I wish I was more upbeat, but I find sometimes you are more inspired by things that are awful. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if something's amazing, you're not always inspired.
But
But yeah,
somehow I
sorry.
turned those awful, like I turned sad songs into happy ones, and I like turning happy songs into sad songs. That's what I
Makes
have
things
no
like,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then, yeah. So then I had this like piano and song with just like piano. I can't write music on the piano because it always turns out really sad. I usually write songs on the ukulele or guitar, but when I start plunking on the piano, everything sounds like a ballad. So.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like sometimes I have people saying, "Can you perform Hypocrisy live?" And I'm like, it doesn't sound right on the piano. It's a different song. It's just will completely change. So no, it's I need a band or I need a backing track of some kind. But yeah, so I know what you're saying. Hmm.
Exactly. So anyway, so that Still Standing song, that was about going through a loss and just kind of surviving the loss. Actually, that is what the song was about. So I went through a pretty as a woman. So when I first moved to Germany during my first year there, I had I got pregnant almost like right away, and I there were some complications. There were some complications, and I was told that my baby has like a really bad heart defect. Did I want to keep it? Did I not want to keep it? So we kept it because there was a possibility of it something to do. Like there were some surgeries that could help. But then when the baby was born, it turned out that the heart defect was so severe. Like her heart was on the other side of her body. There was a few holes in her heart. She had no vein from the liver to the kidney. So and after so they didn't know what to do, and they didn't see cases like that like maybe once every 2 or 3 years. And so it was very complicated. After 6 weeks, they're like, okay, well, you have today's the last day. We have to, like, we can't keep her alive anymore. So I had to just be there and until she passed away. And it was a really, really difficult thing. I didn't understand the language as well at the time because it was my first year there. So I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really feel like I had a lot of choices. And then in the end, it didn't work out. So it was very difficult. And yeah, and so we were in the hospital the whole time, and I ended up going home, and there was like the crib and all the stuff set up because we thought we were going to go back home with the baby, and we didn't. And yeah, and I was like, but anyway, so I survived that, and I survived that because
Yeah.
a lot of people to support me. But I really needed to, that was, I was a mess actually for like,
Well, understandably so. I mean,
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
actually like how do you even put words, just, oh my God, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine like how horrendous that is. And to write a song about that, I mean, just shows how strong you are. And yeah, it's just wow. Like,
It
I
helped a
mean,
lot. Yeah.
it's a sad song, but you're not going to be happy about something like that. It's an inspiring song, and I think it does encompass this empowerment of women because you could just give up, but you're such a vivacious and tenacious woman, and you wouldn't have even known that something like that happened, obviously, unless you listen to the
Yeah.
song. And I just think that's incredible to like overcome something like that and be stronger because that just yeah.
Thanks.
Um, Thank you for sharing that. I wasn't meaning for you to go to talk
Oh,
about that, but then I was just asking about your
it all
experiences. But
ties together, and I'm comfortable
mm,
sharing it with it because it made so many people uncomfortable when I would talk about it. It just directly makes people feel uncomfortable. So I had a
yeah,
lot of people get isolated from me during that time because they didn't know what to say. So I think that the more we talk about it, the more we can figure out what to say and how to support people during these kind of times.
I completely agree. I think it's not healthy if you bottle things up, and sometimes people don't want to say things because they're worried about saying the wrong thing. But then, as you said, it's important to express these things because everyone's gone through some kind of trauma, maybe at a different extent. I mean, as I said, I can't imagine what you've been through because just the worst thing. Like I can't. I'm an English teacher and I can't even come up with the words. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
okay.
But
It's fine.
I think sometimes people do worry about talking about things like that, but actually, in the end of the day, things like that are more important to talk about than like what you're gonna have for lunch. Um,
Yeah, actually, yeah. And I think on average, I remember I took a lot of psychology courses. I'm really into psychology. I took about like four. I went to
oh,
be a
wow,
yeah, just for fun in university. And I
just
remember
for fun.
them say, yeah, I remember them saying like on average, a person goes through 2 to 3 traumatic experiences in their lifetime, things that they're not prepared for. So anyway, so then to flip side of that, a few years later, I was able to write something like Hurricane, where it was like where I felt like I'm okay now. I didn't ever think I would be okay, but I'm okay now. I can function in the world. I don't have to hide because I was hiding for years. And
Yeah.
yeah, like for quite a few years, not in a healthy mindset. And and it's possible to bounce back. So I really believe that we are super resilient. There's a lot of content out there about post-traumatic growth as well and stuff like that. It's a real thing. And so I just think it was a great experience for me to be like this. It was nerve wracking. It was nerve wracking sharing these things, but I feel like like the song, but yeah, I felt like it was an important thing to do, and I'm glad I did it. And I just, yeah, that's
I
it.
think it helps us connect with an audience and an audience connect with a singer as well. Like if you just write about something that's not important and it's not personal, it's kind of like, what's the point? You need to write
Yeah,
about things from the heart, really, and things that matter. Like,
yeah,
yeah, just amazing. But yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. So
yeah.
that is on the playlist. If you've just joined, um, some of Kinga's songs, I think, is it 3 songs? I'm not sure, 2 or 3 songs on the playlist.
Oh, you
Yeah, so
added
that you can,
Parachute on there too, right? Thank you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That one was so interesting that these are all tying together, Megan, because
Oh,
that song was, yeah, because that song I wrote for the people who were there for me during that time. Like you're my parachute, the people who kept me yeah.
and I'm loving all these metaphors.
Yeah, I know. So that's the thing is that you're talking about what's the point of releasing music that's not meaningful or something like that. Like I still think it's fun to release a fun pop song or whatever, and I definitely will have a couple of those coming up. But I also want to write something that's meaningful or can have an impact at this point. That's kind of my
Yeah,
motivation.
make some kind of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many like generic songs where it's just like, oh baby, I love you or whatever. And
I
it's like,
know.
oh.
Or like trends, or like I'm so not trendy. Like I'm just the opposite of that. So it's like when people,
Oh no, not at all. Like I don't even know who's number one. It's like people talk to me about different artists. I'm like, I don't know who that is or what is that? And they're like, no, it's a singer. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think it's good to have music that means something to an extent. To an extent.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so what does that say? I I did write down which female singers influenced you. So you said about Dolly Parton. Are
Yeah.
there any other
Yeah.
female artists?
Yeah. So I really, well, I mean, I really liked Alanis Morissette when I was growing up. So I listened to her a lot, and not for any particular like that she empowered me necessarily. I just liked that she kind of was in her own lane, and I liked her songs, and I thought she was a great songwriter. Uh,
Sassy.
yeah, yeah. And well, gosh, I mean, some just musical influences in general, though. Female artists would be like Amy Winehouse, Dolores from the Cranberries. I really adore.
Oh yeah, the Cranberries. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was always playing. I loved ABBA. I
Oh,
still love ABBA. I didn't. I
they're in
just
a
found
quiet
out.
place, aren't they?
Oh my God! I just found out the other day that they released a new album like 8 months ago. Like, have I been
Oh,
living
did
under a
they?
rock? Yeah.
I don't know what's going on these days, unless like I'm really like following them or something. I don't really know. I
Yeah.
guess again it's just being an adult, isn't it? You just think, oh, I don't really listen to the radio
Yeah.
very much because they sort of play the same songs over and over again.
What are
But yeah.
your, do you have any female influences for music?
Um I do, but I kind of feel like a lot of them are from my childhood.
That's
Um
okay. That's
yeah, I mean
great.
I really like Lana Del Rey at the moment. I liked her when she first came out. Uh just trying to think. I like the Cranberries as well. Obviously not recent. That's what I mean. A lot of the music I like now isn't particularly recent. I
Same
do really
here.
love. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of her, Maria Menna.
Mm-mm.
She's Norwegian. I discovered her by mistake, actually from something called the Sad Songs channel, and
Okay.
she had some really great songs, and they dealt with like serious issues like eating disorders and things like that because she was going through that. And I listened to it as a teenager, and I was thinking, oh wow, this Norwegian woman like is really talking about serious issues here. But she had a great, unique voice, and she seemed like a nice person. That always matters to me. Not too keen on the divas, but yeah, Maria
Yeah.
Menna, I loved her, and I liked Marina and the Diamonds, although she's not called
Oh,
Diamond
yeah.
Diamonds anymore. She, yeah,
She's
and
great.
yeah, as a really young kid, I did like Britney Spears and Christina, all those
Me too.
princesses. Yeah, but
But
now
did
I'm
you
just
have a
like,
preference over which one you liked? Because there was the
oh,
whole.
this could end things for us now, Kinga. I I liked Britney's music more.
Yeah, same
But I
here. Same
appreciated
here.
Christina more as a. I found Christina too much of a diva for me.
Yeah,
Like I don't really, as I said, the diva thing.
yeah.
What about anyone else in the chat, Britney or Christina? Can we not like them both?
In the comments, right? Brittany or Christina.
How do I write this? Britney,
Yeah.
or I'm really bad at texting. I can't see what I've written. Oh, I've written Christine, the Britney or Christina. So let's say Christina. Yeah, if you're listening, Britney or Christina. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just preferred her music really, and I thought all the dancing was cool. And yeah, I couldn't do the dancing. But, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Britney. Yeah, it's Britney, bitch. I just think she's more iconic, really. But I
Yeah.
wish that she would. I don't know. I felt like she compromised her voice to be different to other artists. Like when you hear her when she was younger, she sounded so much better, and it's almost like
That's
she
right.
changed her voice to stand out in a way, and it's kind of annoying because it's like you made yourself look a bit like you're not as talented as maybe you were. I don't know,
That's
but
such an
yeah,
interesting point that you picked up on that
Mhm.
because I saw a performance of her also as a child and it was
She was really good. Yeah,
outstanding vocals. I was like,
and
holy.
now it's like, oh babe, babe. But yeah, it
Yeah,
did seem like
yeah.
she changed it to be like different or stand out or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame. But hopefully she'll get back to where she was. I don't know, the Free Britney movement and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is an
Although,
interesting observation that, obviously you can adapt certain things to an audience or something like that, but how much are you going to change about yourself in order to make an impact? I think, yeah, you really need to know who you are and what you're doing. And I think that's the blessing of being an independent artist, to be quite honest with you. It's not easy. You're doing a lot of work on your own, but it's liberating to do what you want to do and continue to be who you are and express yourself that way, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Frustrating, but
Yeah.
it's liberating as well. Yeah. So I was going to ask, what would your advice be for your teenage self?
Oh, yes. Oh, what would my advice be for my teenage self? Um, yeah, I would probably just tell my teenage self. I'm looking at my mug here. Running late is exercise. It's kind of just
Yeah.
um, you know what? I think like maybe not necessarily like a statement or something like that, but I would encourage my teenage self to kind of um, not be so concerned about what other people may think. For sure, you know, because I did spend a lot of time stuck in um, limiting my opportunities that I had. Um, and I don't know, not being, I was I wasn't the most confident teenager. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so I wasn't the most confident teenager. So I think, and a lot of it had to do with just being afraid of what other people thought. So it's still a work in progress for me, to be honest.
I
But
think
yeah,
that's always the same though. Like I think if someone says that they're completely content with who they are, I think there's a little bit of delusion there. I think everybody always wants to work on something, surely.
yeah,
But yeah, I agree with you. I was really, really shy at school, and that's how I started singing to begin with because my teacher said I couldn't do it, and she was like, "Oh, you're too shy, you won't do it." And I was like, sorry, I keep wanting to swear, but I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. So basically, I was really angry. So I was like, "How dare you say that?" And I was like, "I'm going to go and sing, and I'm going to prove you wrong." And yeah, I hadn't even. I didn't even know if I could sing, but I was just like, I'm just going to do it. But yeah, I hate that kind of pressure and expectation of like, oh, I've put you in this box, you're this geek, you do well at school and you're quiet and you'll stay in your corner.
yeah,
It's like no. But yeah, I kind of feel like even though she was a complete cow to me, she actually kind of helped pave the way for my confidence and discovering who I was musically. I don't know if that was intentional. I'm sure she would say that it was, but I don't think it was. I think she's just being mean. But yeah, but no, I agree. Um, I think with teenagers, I think just don't worry about it. Be the advice. Most of the time, it's not going to happen. The things you're worrying about.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also that things take time. And I think that a lot of times you think that if you feel like as a teenager, I'd be very discouraged if I failed at something very quickly, I would want to give up, you know. And I think now I realize that things take time, even years till you see a
Oh
result
yeah.
about something. And it's not about, it's not a measure of you not being good enough or you not doing well enough. I think it's just normal that things take time. And if you want to build something solid and you want to attract the right people in your life, or to your art, then so this, like for me, a slowly building something is much better, song by song, performance by performance. Just yeah, connecting with people slowly that way, and then having, I don't know, I if I'm like, as you know, reach 75 and I'm in the karaoke bar singing for
I'll
five
join you.
people,
I'll join you. Yeah.
hey, I'm happy with that, you know, because for me it's about connection and community and that kind of thing. And so I think knowing, it's like we were talking about before, when you're a teenager you don't really know who you are, and the challenge with that is you don't always know why you're doing what you're doing. So the blessing I feel now is that um, when you have an understanding of what motivates you and what you value, yeah, and then it changes everything. And you just got it, yeah. And do you know what I mean? Am I
No,
making sense?
I definitely do. Yeah, I was just listening to what you're saying. Yeah, I think there's just so much kind of anxiety, isn't there? Of just like trying to fit in and be a certain way and sort of feel like you have to follow the crowd and everything. And if you don't, it's like, oh my God. But yeah, and I think just too worried about like looking the same as each other. It's like, I do remember having this conversation when I was like 13. I was like, are you wearing a denim skirt? Yes, I'm wearing a denim skirt. Let's all wear a denim skirt. And we just all look the same. It was just
Yeah,
silly. Like,
yeah,
why? Why? And now when you're an adult, you're like, you don't want, well, I hope most people don't want to be the same. Like, oh, it's just silly. So, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Megan, your voice is sweet and pure, says Harry.
Oh, thank you. Not anymore. Not anymore. Um, so I was going to ask, what I think this says something about importance of women in music. What do you think? I think that's what that says. I really need to
Oh,
write better. Something about the importance of women in music.
oh, to have
What
a
do you,
voice in
you
music, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's been a male dominated industry, if that's safe to say. Um,
I
I don't want
concur.
to make any statements, but in a lot of ways, I think people are more, I don't know, shaping how a woman should present herself as an artist is much more common than I think packaging the male artists. I don't know. That's the sense I get sometimes. Is that oftentimes you want to try to shape. I don't know. That's what I've seen, even as an entertainer. What's your look? Who do you sound like? A lot of times they're asked, who do you
I
sound
hate that. It's like I sound like me. Like, yeah,
exactly?
that
Exactly. That's the worst.
comparison all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I think I don't like it. I feel like, especially in the pop industry, it's always focused on like women and their looks, whereas men kind of just get away with it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, look, she gained weight. It's like she's a singer. Like, who cares? Just,
Exactly.
you know, those horrible magazines where they like point out a tiny bit of fat, and it's like, are you serious? Like, how would you feel if someone did that to you? You know, when you see like paparazzi pictures of them eating, it's like, oh my God, like I had that the other day. Someone took a picture and I was eating. I was just like, oh, why did you do that? Like, seriously. But I
Are
don't
you
have it like
being stalked,
spread
Megan?
everywhere for everyone to see. Yeah. Yeah. So, but no, I think it's important for women to take a stand. And I think, you know, we are having more female artists emerge, more so than we used to. But yeah, I don't know. Callie, what do you think?
Women. Well, I'm totally different in a way because I've come to music really late in life.
Oh, okay.
The whole regarding what Kinga said earlier, I've also lost a child many years ago. She was nearly 6 months old with
Oh my God.
so I completely understand. So I've had a different life to both of you, where I've kind of done other things, and this is something that I've done because it's a kind of feeling that if you don't just go for it in life, time will run out, and so I'm kind of very much behind where you are, but nonetheless coming up with songs. And I mean, I wrote a song called She's There, and initially it was going to be about my daughter, but I turned it into a song about me and my inner demon, that voice that talks to us and tells us we're rubbish, we're this, we're that, and in the end you have to make a friend of her. So I do sort of get all that. I guess my songs I tend to make up now tend to always often start off with a problem and then have a resolution at the end. So they're really quite positive songs. Hopefully, I mean, I co-write with somebody. So I came to music really, really late. I went for piano lessons and I was absolutely rubbish, but I decided that I'd sit down and I'd start making up progressions just to show my teacher that I could do something. And as it happened, he used to work in the industry and had a production studio, and so he said, well, let's sort of see if we can develop some ideas. And it really sort of came together during lockdown because there was a lot more time. We went and filmed a video in the field out there, took the piano out there. Yeah, so I'm still developing, so I don't really expect to go anywhere other than in here. Do you understand? Like, it's an emotional, at my age, it's not something you would expect someone of my age to be doing, but
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I think age is just a number, and I also think that music is music, isn't it? Like, you don't listen to music and be like, oh, they're like 250 years old. Not saying that you are, by the way, just saying, like, generally speaking. No, 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 just generally saying, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, this person, like, whatever. I mean, if someone listens to music and says, oh, they're that age, I just don't really know why,
I
like,
mean,
it
I've had
makes
to
no
have
sense. But
coaching. I mean, I did sing as a child, but then I had like, oh goodness me, I've had about years and years and years not singing, um, and I've just sort of come back to it now, and it's great. So just I've recently, because of this International Women's Day, very quickly. I mean, we don't normally write songs as quickly, but we've just put out on Spotify "We Can Fly," and that's all. And we linked it. We managed to get it on International Women's Day site. So there was
oh, wow,
yeah, and
that's
we
really cool.
really well on YouTube, but there's something really weird on YouTube. They've suddenly started taking views away, but I think that's normal.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
sometimes
encountered that as well. Yeah, and you explained to me, I was like, what?
that just happens sometimes when you post a video. Is it a song or is it a video of a song?
Video with the song, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it happens that the first few days or like the first week of when you post it, then it's kind of YouTube's a bit confused, and then it starts to evaluate the algorithm and stuff. So how long someone listened to the song and then what's considered a view. I don't know if it's 20 seconds or 40 seconds right now. And then it starts to calibrate. It happens, like, I talked with Megan about this, so it's not a reflection of anything.
I just thought, like, I had imagined it. I was really confused. I was like, did I dream this? Or, like, does anyone get that way? Like, they dream and then it's real life and you're like, which is which? And I get very perplexed. But yeah, Kelly, thanks so much for sharing that. And I'm really sorry about your loss. My goodness.
The thing is,
I know, but yeah.
for me, it feels like another lifetime. And that sounds weird, but that's because of my age.
Oh.
Regarding women and having to look a certain way, personally, I mean, I'm trying to do videos and snippets and things and put them up, and my God, am I having to use all this lighting and all the things I've discovered, like something you shove on under your eye that sets it.
Oh, do tell.
Well, is this makeup?
Called Peter Roth, and you pat it on and it just takes away anything.
Oh, so that's makeup, is it? Is that makeup?
Your makeup, it almost feels like you're getting, it sort of is like, it sort of sets. So
oh.
Yes, and you can't actually put makeup with it. You have to kind of like pat it on and it sets. If you get water near it, then you turn back into this sort of like dragon lady.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not one to ask for makeup advice. I don't really, it's like I can't even do eyeliner in a straight line, so usually I just don't bother. It's like my son was trying to help me the other day, he's 2, and I was just like, you're making it worse, you're making it worse. And I was just like, right, scrap it, you know. Actually, seeing as we were talking about aesthetics, having spoken to, I don't know if, is Lee on here? Stereomono, are you on here? I don't know, how do I see who's on here?
Oh, I did see that he joined the chat.
I don't know who's here, but we were having a discussion about this and I was getting so vivid.
The stalker thing?
Oh, no, I get really angry. It winds me up when I get messages like that don't even acknowledge that I'm a singer. Like, I just find it really impertinent, to be honest. It's like, at least pretend. Like, at least pretend you've listened to my song. Like, oh, I don't know, it makes me really mad. And they're just like, oh, hey, babe, you hot or whatever. Oh, marry me, all this kind of rubbish. It's just like, I get really wound up because I give people the benefit of the doubt. They say hello, I usually say hello back. But it just really frustrates me when they have the audacity to not even pretend to listen. Yeah. Like, oh, it makes me really, really cross.
I'm
And
so
yeah,
I'm
no, I
so
don't know,
sorry.
like,
What's the worst thing someone's said to you?
I don't know if I can repeat it on this. I don't know if I
Okay.
can say it, but if you
Okay.
looked at my stories recently, you'll see one that came up, and that was one of the worst I've had. Yeah, and the weird thing was, is I wasn't even replying, and then they just kept sending me a stream of messages. So I kind of just played along to see if they noticed, and they just carried on. It's like okay, and then they kept video calling me. But I hate that, the fact that you can just video call someone, like you're not following them, and they can video call you. I don't think that should be
Oh,
allowed.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
think you can.
Well, I tried it because I went onto Britney Spears and I tried to video call her, and it wasn't there, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's all right for her, but I don't know how we change it basically, but yeah, I
Oh,
wasn't being a creep. I was just trying to see, like, if you know, it's like
will
show
it
me
work
your
if I call Brittany? Will we be able
yeah, exactly, yeah. That's the thing. You always measure everything with Britney Spears, and then you know where you're going. But yeah, no, I just that for me as a female really makes me cross. I mean, it's not like if someone comments on how you look, it's not that factor. It's the fact that they don't even consider, if you go on my profile, you can see that there is singing. There are mentions of music. If you look in my bio, it says, as you said, you'd read it, but I've changed it. So it's like trying to say, this is not Tinder, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that makes me mad, the Tinder thing. I've never been on Tinder, but I feel like sometimes I'm on Tinder and it shouldn't be that way. This is not a dating site. Please don't ask me out on here, please.
Yeah.
Sorry, my
Yeah.
rant's over. Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I think you're a very approachable person, and sometimes maybe someone might take advantage of that, and that's unfortunate. I had some weird situations, and I'm kind of the same like you. So I kind of, you
Did they
know,
use the V word?
uh, the what?
The V word.
Maybe I don't know. No, they haven't.
Oh, okay.
No, no. But I had someone make this like profile, like a profile of me, and they took like my pictures and they made like a profile for me, which was kind of weird, and then started sending me like all these roses and messages.
They're not real roses.
No, I wish,
Well,
but
that's shocking. They
it
should
was
send it real
like
roses if they want to take an
thousands of
impact.
emoji roses and like in the comments. But it was like I felt kind of weird about that. Like it's just like all my I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know you could take someone's photos from their profile and then like use them and post them on another profile. That was kind of strange. I don't know. It just felt like a little violated, even though it was like an appreciative thing to do. It got a little creepy from
Does
there.
it still exist?
In the messages. What's that?
Does it still exist, the page?
I think I reported it, but I felt bad because I'm like, well, this is nice and appreciative, but it's also making me feel very strange at the
I'm a bit
moment.
jealous that you got rose emojis because I usually just get the aubergine.
Yeah, that's why I felt conflicted because it was
Yeah, so at least you got a rose. Don't know what I'm doing wrong.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like there was something disturbing about sending them. It was more so about the photos.
Yeah.
About the photos and like some of the things that were being said and stuff like that. But anyway, it doesn't get that bad. It doesn't get vulgar or anything like that with me. It just sometimes attract weird people, weird things.
Yeah, no, I think I do too. It seems, but I guess there's quite a lot of weird people. But I am Megan Strange, so I guess I'm strange. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh gosh, but
But what I was basically trying to say was, it's like if someone says you look nice or whatever, that's fine, like that, thank you, kind of thing. But it's not that I have a problem with. It's the sort of trying to pursue things and yeah, just as I said, not even acknowledging that you're a musician and that's why you've got the page to begin with. Like,
yeah, I 100%
yeah.
agree with you. Like, I mean, that's what you're there for, and you're making it clear that you're here to share your music. So I think that should be the foundation of the
So
interaction.
I don't think men have that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should start looking at male musicians and sending them like flirty messages and see how they like it.
I'd love it.
Or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so we have some there. I can't even speak. We have some questions on here, so I'll go through these, and then if anyone has any questions on here, Kinga, you might have to tell me what they are because I really don't know where. Like,
Okay,
I'm
I'll keep
trying
track
to.
of the messages.
And then if we've got people from the playlist on here, if they want to video themselves, join the video and talk about their songs and what inspired them to write it, etc., etc., we'll do it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So this question I have says, as women, we have struggles. What keeps you motivated when down? So you want to start? Oh, my sausage dog's decided to come in. I'll just let him in. He wants to join the party.
I'd love
Come
to
on.
hear, Kelly, what you have to say.
I think that when you're down, well, if you join, you've just got to rise up every time because you know if you don't believe in you, how can you expect other people to? That's not sounding hedonistic. It's just a fact. Because if you don't have energy, other people are not going to be attracted towards you because energy, positive energy, attracts people because they want some of it. So does that answer it?
Yeah, I totally
I think
agree.
that's a really nice I guess mantra to have. I'm not the most positive person, unfortunately. I'm trying to be. That's part of my Lent thing, but forever. Um, but yeah, I think positivity is really important. And you're right, if you're not going to be that way, then why should
Yeah,
anyone else believe in you?
I don't think that people even realise, and I didn't for ages, that other people have their issues. For a long time, I used to think shyness was just something I felt. And when you go into a room and you feel kind of like in the corner, what you've got to realise is that even the most talkative people, they probably feel like that, but that's just their way of coping. They overcompensate by over talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, awkward silence, just talk rubbish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I do that.
For me, what else? I mean, I think like, so the question was when you're down, how do you get up type of thing, as a woman or?
Yes, when you have as women, we have struggles. What keeps you motivated when down?
Yeah, like, so I'm a generally pretty positive person, but I also struggle with depressive tendencies. And so if I allow myself to get stuck there, it's a real issue for me and for everybody around me. So for me, one of the things that helps, like with just that in general, like struggling with when you're down, has been like to get outside and connect with others. And like during this pandemic, connecting online, even here on Instagram really helped, connecting with other musicians. And as an artist, like I was super discouraged, starting out, and feeling kind of like I don't have a lot of people in my day-to-day life who are musicians, so it was really nice to meet other people and support each other and stuff like that. I think social capital and mutual support, if you have that, then you can get through a lot. You can get through anything. There was even a study, there was a TED talk about it. If I find the link somehow, maybe I'll post it in the comments later, that the biggest like predictor of someone's survival through a difficult time is the social support. So if you have people who are able to talk to talk to about stuff and you feel seen with them and you feel supported, yeah, you can get through some really difficult things and to keep going. So that's kind of for me a little bit about that journey, I guess.
Yeah, I think connections are really important, and I think it's easy to isolate yourself when you're feeling at your worst. And I know I've done that before, and it makes it worse. And people then stop texting you and things to ask if you're okay, and you're like, oh. So I always try to make sure that I do keep texting people, even if I seem really annoying, and then people are like, "I'll just go away." But yeah, and I think music is a bit obvious, but it is kind of a form of therapy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like when you're writing in your diary type thing, but putting it out in that
Oh,
way.
it's the best. It's the best because I'm also a health scientist, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got a master in
Getting all
public
these
health.
little extras.
Yeah, yeah. I had a bit of a, I'm kind of all over the place with my interests. So, so I love to write, and I used to write a lot of studies. And I kind of gave that up after when I had kids because I was like, couldn't concentrate at all anymore.
Yeah, there's no time for anything, is there?
Yeah, yeah. But what's the best thing about a song? Oh my gosh, like let's talk about the ultimate therapy is that, you know, you can process a feeling and kind of expand on your experience of what you went through in such a short and make it beautiful with a melody. And yeah, it's amazing. So you have the writing aspect, you have the melody aspect, and you bring it together. You can share it, and a song is forever. I'm just like, my favorite thing in the world is obviously writing songs, and it totally
Yeah,
helped me. Yeah, because when no one can understand what you're going through, and you're able to put it on paper and make the chaos beautiful somehow.
I like that. Make the chaos beautiful. Yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah.
That to me is, I don't know, the biggest reward of going through something, making sense of it that way. Yeah.
I would also say, for me personally, exercise is really therapeutic. Like
Oh, yeah.
I've just had a series of unfortunate events. It must be I'm getting old, but I injured my calf
Oh my
just
God.
before Christmas. Yeah, so I am an avid runner. Hadn't been able to run for ages. I can run again now, and obviously now I've got nodules in my
Oh,
larynx.
oh
So it's
God.
kind of
The
like I
nodules.
get over one thing, and now I've got this. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be positive, but I mean, the fact that I can talk, I couldn't talk back in November, December. Like I literally had no voice. So I don't know. It does kind of depress me though, because I feel a little bit like, oh my God,
Limited.
usually if I'm upset, I go and write music, and I can't go and do that. Um, but yeah, so it is a bit of a rubbish situation.
Can you tell me about Sweet Maybe a little bit, please? Just like I want to hear about a little bit about that song from you. I want to hear you talk about your song.
Okay. Yeah, it's just basically this concept of going out and meeting someone and the prospect of it becoming love, or also wondering if it's actually infatuation, but not really being sure. Because it says, can this taste really be such a wonderful waste? So it's kind of this idea of something pleasurable not actually amounting to anything, and you kind of want it to be great, but at the same time, something so sweet can actually like be artificial and rot your teeth. So it's going to be something catastrophic along the way. And I guess it's just my kind of vulnerability and lack of trust. I'm better now, but I found it quite hard to trust people. So I always thought they were just going to screw me over. And I guess people do still screw me over, but I don't know. Like, yeah, sometimes it's quite hard to trust. But I guess that's what it was like, because I've been in quite a few catastrophic relationships, if you can even call them relationships. But yeah, and I just sort of thought, I want to meet someone, but I don't want it to be a terrible experience. And when you're having like fun and things like that, and then it's like, oh, bye bye kind of thing. Yeah, you just kind of, yeah, sometimes I wish that I could be more kind of like, not shallow, but I feel sometimes I can't explain it. Like I sometimes wish I could just be sort of like, yeah, yeah, like, but sometimes I'm a bit too intense, maybe. I don't know if I put that very well.
Oh, you
Explain
put
the
it
difference.
really well.
Oh,
I've
have
never
I?
heard such a fantastic description of a song on
Oh,
the spot. My
yeah.
gosh. I mean, and that's such so vulnerable for you to share about too. I
Oh.
mean, I think you wear your heart on your sleeve, which is an incredibly beautiful thing. And yeah,
It
really.
is a positive song though. Like, I mean, it is kind of an upbeat, like dancing number, but then like behind it, it's also kind of like, oh, is this going to be one of those things again? You know, like, oh, it just doesn't work out or whatever. Yeah.
I felt that even from the title, you know, because it's like sweet maybe.
Yeah, it's almost like there should be a question mark, sweet, comma, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to
Is
start
it
putting more punctuation in my songs. Yeah. But I wanted to bring something upbeat because I felt like my last two songs, other than the Christmas one, have been quite not depressing, but should we say pensive and reflective. So I was like, yeah, I want to have something a little bit more upbeat and can dance to. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I just noticed no comparison was saying that he's just relating to the fact that he's also been kind of um, felt mistreated, and in the end it makes you stronger and kind of more aware. I think even the challenges, because I've been there too, to how to have an open heart, but to just be aware and still be careful and to still have an open heart. That's a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm seeing these messages, but I don't. Is it just they just come so fast?
Yeah.
I really need to get more tech literate, don't I? But yeah, they just go so fast, and I'm like, sorry, I'm not ignoring people.
Oh no, don't worry.
Yeah.
I've got that. I've got my eye on that.
But yeah, I could probably just add to that, because I released it around Valentine's Day. It was kind of almost like an anti-Valentine's Day, like this idea that, oh, you have to receive, the flowers and chocolates and everything, if you're in love and all this. And it kind of winds me up a bit because it's like, no, actually, that doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, it's nice, but it doesn't mean anything. And just like with Sweet Maybe, it's this kind of idea of what you see on the surface isn't necessarily what goes on behind closed doors and
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I mean, I remember being like completely satisfied in a relationship, but having like a really crappy Valentine's Day experience. And I, and I was like, and it totally destroyed the day because I was trying not to let it affect me that I didn't like get any Valentine's, anything special.
Oh.
And then I completely like exploded by the end of the night. I was like just bursting into tears, but you don't care about me. I was like, what? But I thought you didn't want anything. I thought you were fine with it. I'm like, I am. But like when you're surrounded by,
It doesn't mean anything though, does it? Because like, for example, I've had a boyfriend who like got me flowers and things like that, but to be honest, he was an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like my current partner, like he just filled up my car with diesel when I didn't even know, and then I went to get in the car to go to work, and I was like, oh my god, it's a full tank. And like I think something like that is just quite like romantic. It's the everyday things, but I know what you mean. I think when you're, I don't know, sometimes you're insecure and you're like, oh, I need it to be proven, but I don't like this sort of over the top kind of exhibit of like love and like, oh look, I love her because I've got her these, and I'm not really materialistic, so I don't know, it just winds me up. I keep saying that, it winds me up. I'm gonna come up with a different phrase.
Yeah. No, I could see that. And I was quite embarrassed that I let it bother me too. But it was like a buildup of being surrounded by it, and then you
Not your
letting.
husband then?
Yeah.
Was it with your husband?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it worked out, so yeah.
Yes. Poor
So
guy.
bless. Well, he must really love you, and I'm sure he made up for it ever since.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm a bit of, I God bless him because like he's very composed and he's completely the opposite of me. But he really respects he respects that my creative life, and he's never once limited anything that I wanted to do musically or performing. Like he'll be with the kids at night when I go out and perform, and he's super trusting and stuff like that. So he's a real saint. I could be a handful. So
I think that's really important to have someone who respects creativity because
yeah.
I don't know if you know, but my all my music videos my fiance does for me.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, and he's actually the reason like I started singing again, because I stopped, and then when we first seen each other I was like, like he wanted to hear me play the piano, and I was like, oh, I don't do that, I don't perform. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. And he liked it, and well, he said he liked it. And then he was like, why don't you record these songs? And I was like, oh no, and I was all shy. And then I did,
Aw.
and I don't think I would have done it without him. And I'd had some bad experiences when I had performed and like in studios and things and with creeps. So he came with me, and yeah, it was just really nice. But I think it's really important to have someone who's supportive. Otherwise, you kind of feel like, why am I doing it? Because I don't know about anyone else, but I find that people who you think are your friends will meet up with you for coffee and things like that. But then when you post that you've got a new song or something, like people you know in real life, where are they?
I know.
Where
They're
are they?
hiding.
Like, are you who are you watching now? But yeah, it's just like, and then I'll send it on WhatsApp, and it's like I don't get a comment back from some people, and it's like, okay. Or what's even interesting, my godmother, she said, I don't like it, Meg. And I was like, all right. She's like, I didn't get it. And I was like, okay, I really didn't get it. And I was like, okay, well, I appreciate you replying, and you actually watched it. So I'd rather that than not watch it at all. So yeah, I think it's really important to have a supportive network online, but also like in real life, if you know what I mean. And I think
Absolutely.
some people just don't, or they pretend that they can't listen to it. I have one friend who I sent Spotify to, and she's like, oh, I can't, I don't have Spotify. And I was like, oh, you can download it. She's like, oh, I don't want to listen to the ads. And I was like, seriously, like, you know, I'm not asking you to pay for it. You don't even have to really listen to it. Just here you go. Like, kill
Just,
myself. Yeah.
just stand under the window and blast your song. Callie, did you have an experience similar?
I think that often your nearest and dearest probably don't listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
In all honesty, and because I obviously came to it so late, it was almost like, oh, it's sort of, why don't you join a choir or something kind of that. I got a lot of that, when really doing sort of solo things is it's a different thing altogether, isn't it?
It's like, how dare you be creative?
Maybe. I think it's hard for people to get their head round the fact that they knew me as one thing and now I'm becoming something different. But hey, you know, that's fine, because I did that before. I used to be in finance, and then I went into therapy, and people sort of said things about that. So, and now I'm doing this. So there you go. Because
The thing is, though, I think, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Did I cut you off?
No, I just think you have to do what your heart tells you.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't. And when you give yourself permission to do that, maybe it's difficult for them to tap into it. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, you've obviously mixed, both of you. Well, you said that you're not actually, a lot of your direct people aren't in music, but I wrongly assume that all musicians hang out with musicians. But
Oh no, not at all. In fact, I don't even have many musical friends, really. I don't know how it happened. I always thought that it would happen and we'd gravitate to one another, but no, like it's very strange. Yeah, so I think sometimes I get the impression that some of my friends are a bit embarrassed, like, oh, Megan's singing, but I'll just keep doing it. I'll just keep doing it, and yeah.
Feathering pianist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a mix of like support and non-support. I definitely had the experience of like on release day people hiding. But you know what? It's the musicians who support me, actually, who are like, who, because they get it. And I'm so incredibly and my parents, like, but my parents play my songs when I'm not home. Like my brother said, like, oh
really?
my God, we heard Parachute way too many times, but they won't like directly tell me.
That's nice though. My mum pretends that she does. I know she doesn't. She's like, oh, I don't have to use Spotify. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, no, I don't think my mum does. She says she does, but nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most important thing is just to keep going and keep being consistent regardless of the reception.
Yeah.
So
definitely kind of, you have to have a thick skin, don't you, really?
Yeah,
I've learned a lot watching everybody else on Instagram, actually. Yeah, because I'm learning as I go. It's great.
Oh, I'm learning, honestly. I don't really understand a lot on Instagram. Like, I still don't get what a reel is. Like, I'm trying to work it out, but I just thought it meant it was long, as in like they didn't cut your head off. Because so many times my head gets cut off. You know, like in the box, my head. Or I have like it up here. Like I posted the other day, I quickly deleted it. I was like up to here, and I was like, okay, I have no chin. Is my chin too big? Probably. But yeah, it's very annoying. But yeah, so don't feel like you're alone there, Callie, because I'm very like.
Good though, you know, we all kind of have to keep learning.
Yeah.
There's cut-off point, and yeah, so I'm following everybody else. I'll be looking at Kinga and seeing what you do.
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
excited
brilliant.
to follow your
Yeah,
journey, and I'm so
it's nice
happy.
to have
Yeah.
talk to women as well and like actually talk about music. It's like yeah, I don't want to receive any more aubergines, you know. Um, or do you call them that there? Do you call them aubergines? Do you call them
No,
eggplant?
no, like eggplants?
Yeah.
We say
Is that what
eggplant.
it is? Yeah.
But in Germany, I guess it would be aubergine. I've got a mix of languages. Like right now, my mind is blowing up because I've got English, I've got French in Canada. We got Polish in my household. My parents are Polish. So I used to speak Polish with my kids until I couldn't anymore because it was a little complicated. And then the German. So I sometimes got a lot of vocabulary.
That's good. That's really cool. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll help you. I like the fact that in Germany, I can't quote any examples, but they have like certain words for certain feelings. Wasn't there like a word of like overeating or something and
Oh
feeling
yeah.
content with something? Yeah, what's that? Does it
Lot
come
of
a
lot of logical words. Like I don't know
we
about
need
the
them to exist.
overeating. Yeah, I don't know about the overeating, but there's something called like Schadenfreude, which is like taking pleasure in someone else's misery. There's like a lot of really descriptive.
I love that. I wish we had
Yeah,
that in English. We need it. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, yeah. Do we have another question?
Yes, we do. It was
Great.
asking about why did I create the playlist?
Oh yeah,
Um,
let's hear it.
yeah, so well, actually, it was you who inspired me because you said about the Women's Day and you said you're releasing a song. And then I was thinking, oh, actually, I sat with my partner and I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have like a female playlist, just like females? And because, I did the Christmas one and I just thought that would be cool. And also, it meant that I got to listen to other female singers. Like when I went for a run today, I was listening to the playlist and I was like, oh, right, cool. And I haven't had a chance to like message people directly yet, but it was nice to have sort of those experiences and focusing on women really because we're women. And
Yeah.
yeah, just as simple as that really. And nice to have just, I guess, underground music. So, rather than just like having Rihanna and Billy and everyone else, like let's have some people who we've not heard before and let's try and share it and listen to one another and maybe even like learn something or collaborate in the future. Yeah.
I love that you were motivated to kind of, share people who are unrepresented on different levels, like independent artists and stuff like that. Because yeah, of course, the mainstream stuff, there's huge, big machines behind that driving all of it. And so I think it was super sweet that you came up with this to bring some voices. And it was, when I listen to it, it's just every song is a surprise, which is so nice. And
Yeah, it is. Because often you think, oh, I haven't heard this song before. And then when you hear it, like mainstream music, it's like, oh, yes, I have heard that in the shop or whatever,
yeah,
And Justin Bieber, oh, I didn't realize that was him, but yeah, I've heard him a million times. And he's male, but yeah. So that was cool. Um, I got a question of what is the best and worst thing about being a female artist? But I think we pretty much covered the worst thing, and I'm not going
yeah.
to go there again, unless anyone wants to add anything to that. What about the best thing then?
Well, like for me, even, what was it, Monday? When was this Women's Day? Monday or Tuesday?
I think it's Tuesday.
Yeah. I never did that before. I never like celebrated Women's Day, And then I think on that day there was so much happening. Everyone was celebrating and supporting each other, and that was really beautiful to see. That was the first time I kind of experienced something like that. What's the best part of being a female artist? And then I don't know. Oh gosh, like I actually don't know. I'm at a loss for words now, like specifically female. Yeah, I don't know. Someone else might want to take over.
I think it's quite cool that we can be diverse and do pretty much anything we want.
Yeah,
Whereas it used to be a case of, like if we looked at not that long ago, really, women were so suppressed and weren't even supposed to work or do anything. It's like, yeah, I can. Like when I teach Victorian texts to kids, they're like, oh, did she not go out to work? It's like, no, they weren't allowed. And like, they're just expected to have children, like this expectation. And again, putting women in a box. And I think that's been
Yeah.
done quite a long time. And I think in some ways it's still being done. But I think we're lucky, most of us, to be able to pursue it. Because I mean, not everyone would be able to pursue it as a woman. And I think depending on
Yeah.
where you live in the world as well, women are seen in different ways. I mean, there are still countries and still people who are misogynistic and think women should be in the kitchen, and I can't bloody cook, so I'm not going in
Yeah.
the kitchen. So
That's actually really well said. And now that you said it, then I can confirm that I feel the same way, because for when I had I have two kids, two little ones, 5 and 3, a 5-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old boy, and whenever I'd be in part of some mommy groups and stuff like that, and a lot of things that we talk about are about childhood and motherhood, and like a lot of roles come out a lot, and I don't necessarily relate to all of it. And so I think I feel good as a female artist, or like as a mom, or as a 36-year-old woman. Like I'm not, you know, a 16-year-old like coming into like, you know, it's not like that. So because you were saying, Cataly, you were talking about age and stuff, and kind of how that impacts the journey musically. I mean, I also felt like, what am I kind of doing being a 34-year-old mom writing songs when people think I should, when, you know, I come from a fairly traditional nuclear family dynamic that is definitely like, why aren't you investing that time in, you know,
I know what you mean. I sometimes get mum guilt, and I'm like, oh, like when I've gone to the studio and someone's been looking after my son, well, it's usually my fiance, and I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't be doing this, and then I feel guilty, and then it's like a completely different world. And I also feel like when you say you're a mum, people treat you differently.
Yeah.
Like when I've been at work and they're like, oh, you're a mum, and I was like, yeah, and it's like, okay, like, why are you talking to me differently now? Like, I don't know, I don't like it. Sometimes I share that I am a mum because obviously I wrote a song about being a mum, but I sometimes feel like people do treat you differently when they know that you're a parent, and
Yeah.
I don't think they should. It's like your identity is completely compromised and changed, and I don't think it's the same for men. I think if they're a dad, it doesn't, like, it's society don't view them as too differently, whereas I think for women they are. Well, that's my experience anyway.
Yeah, and you know what, Jason, also, I'm just looking at, he said like female vocals are so beautiful. Wait, I'm trying to like, and I actually realized that I agree with that. I actually prefer listening to a song with female vocals. I'm not.
Yeah, same, yeah. Although I do love David Bowie, but yeah, like
Yeah.
generally speaking, because I kind of think, oh, how would I sing it? Whereas usually it's the lower register, and I'm like, oh, although with my nodules, I can only sing low at the moment, so I might just do loads of male vocals. I'll just turn into a man. I'll just grow some facial hair.
The nodules
yeah.
are just complicating life.
Yeah, I know. How dare they? Like, it's going fine until they appeared. But yeah, I could be like, I should change my name to Megan and the Strange Nodules. You know. Yeah.
It's a great band name.
Yeah, it is.
Let's start a band. Megan and the Strange Nodules. We can be the Strange.
Yeah.
What do you do about that, Megan?
I've got. Sorry.
What do you do about your throat? What's happening?
Well, I've got to go and have, like, I think it's like language therapy. They don't know the cause, but because I'm a teacher, I use my voice all the time, and then with my toddler, and then singing. So it could be that maybe I've got incorrect technique, or it could just be overuse. He didn't really seem to know. I've been misdiagnosed so many times before this. Like, it's taken 6 months to actually establish this, but it was the most horrible experience. Like, I just walked in there all sort of confidently, and I thought he was just gonna like touch me there, and he did. And I was, because I read about it, I was like, okay, fine. And then he just like pushed me into the chair and was like, this is going to feel unpleasant. I was like, what is? He was like, I'm going to look at your vocal cords. And I just went like that, and then he shoved a thing up my nose, and I was just like, oh my God.
Okay, yeah.
It was just, and I've given birth, so like I know pain, but it was just the most weird, disgusting, horrible feeling ever. And he wasn't very sympathetic, and I thought I was going to get some kind of numbing agent, but I didn't, and I didn't expect that to happen. He was just like, you've got nodules. And I was like, right, okay, now what? He was like, I'll write to your GP, I'll refer you. And I was like, to what though? But yeah, so I don't really know. I think I've got some kind of consultation online next week, and then I think I'm on some kind of waiting list. But it's just kind of doing. I think they're doing like that straw thing, you know, where you do the stuff with the straw.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like 3 to 6 months or something. I don't really know. I can sing low. It's just I can't go high.
Fine.
When I go high, just air comes out, which is very unusual for me because I'm usually most comfortable when I'm higher. And it could just be that I've just done too much belting, perhaps. Although I still kind of wonder if it's like reflux, because the initial person who diagnosed me said I had reflux, even though I don't experience it. I just I don't know.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's just it's frustrating. I was quite upset when he told me, but then I also felt relieved that it wasn't anything worse because they said like, oh, it could be cancer, and I was like, oh, when you mentioned the C word, it's like, oh, so it's benign. So at least there's that. It could be far worse. So yeah, I'm lucky. It's annoying and frustrating, and in a way heartbreaking, but I'm also very fortunate that it's nothing worse, and I do seek solace in that fact. So yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. We had
yeah.
we had a comment. I just want to tell you we love and support what you're doing. Great idea. And anyway, so people are sharing.
I can see hearts coming up. But yeah.
Yeah.
So would unless anyone wants to say anything else, I mean, I did have some other questions, which kind of like what we've already covered. Would anyone like to join? So anyone from the playlist or just anyone generally? Do they want to join? You can send a request and you can tell us about your song on the playlist, or if you've got a question or anything really.
Yeah.
I'll just do some like really awkward faces whilst I wait.
Maybe they just enjoy what's happening here.
So
Oh,
anyone from the playlist wants to talk about their song?
yeah. Let me see. Callie, what's your song called again? I need to write it down.
Time.
What's that?
Give it time.
Give it time.
Yeah.
And the other one was She Is or She...
Oh no, that's not on the playlist, but it was just when you mentioned the fact that you lost a child.
Yeah.
Written songs, and I, you know, it's sort of something I thought, oh, I can't write a song about, so I'll just write it, turn it around, and say she's there, which is also true. The inner person who always seems to stop you doing stuff. But it's that one on our album is, I mean, I tend to write more show music, or have done it. A lot of people have said that. So it's not necessarily the kind of thing that a lot of people might listen to. But I'm going to try and get a bit more modern. It's hard, really. You just go with what you go with, don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, is it like acoustic style or?
No, because he the guy that produces it, he's doing it all on Cubase, and he used to work with people back in, well, really 70s, 80s, and he's, you know, this is why I say about the age thing. He actually worked with Gloria Gaynor and people like that.
Okay.
So he's done the piano, and he used to do that piano part to live. So yeah, he likes doing quite a lot of production. So that generally our songs have quite a heavy production behind them. But yeah, yeah.
I think it's quite good to like work with different people, because I think you can get another style and genre. Like I've worked with different producers, and it's a completely different sound, and sometimes you're like, oh yeah, this producer works better, this one or this one, or even a collaboration. So
I mean,
I don't think there's anything. Yeah.
Someone. So when you say work with another person, I wouldn't have a clue how to go about that. So for now, this is what we're doing, and just everything's just sort of trying, isn't it? Just keep.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just seen some comments. I realise now that I can scroll up. Sorry. So Lee was saying that it's just men in the audience. You should have said.
Who said that? No, that's not true. Mm. No.
Yeah.
No, I've seen some wonderful look. Hold on, let me take a look. So hi, let me just see. I will find them. Ava. And we've got it doesn't matter. I mean, everyone's welcome, but we're talking about stuff unique to our womanly experience that maybe everyone can benefit from hearing about. So
Yeah. That's absolutely true. Yeah. Well, I know the topics we could mention that would ensure that it was only women, but I won't go into that.
yeah. We want to run away. No, but
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so you said about Parachute being on the playlist, and you've also said about Still Standing being on there. I guess I could talk about this one of the songs I added, which is a female experience, which is called The Other Woman. Have you
Yes.
heard that song?
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's very focused on being a woman because I think most people have experienced that, haven't they? Where they're given that moment where they think that they could become the other woman, but they don't want to become the other woman. Can anyone empathize with that?
Like the other woman, like the
Not
miss,
actually
like,
becoming the other woman, but
oh.
prospect of becoming the other woman.
Hmm. I'm not gonna share. I don't want to get in trouble. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I have a request to join, and it's two people having sex in the photo. I don't think I'm going to accept that. Sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah. No.
No way.
Yeah. Uh, Shall I accept just for fun? No, I won't really. But yeah, with the other woman. So I think sometimes people think it's about me actually being the other woman, but it's actually saying no, I'm not going to be the other woman. So it's
Okay.
it is a very female experience. I guess there could be the other man, but I don't know. There's always that stigma, isn't it? Like the female, the other woman, like kind of thing. But just for the
Mm-hmm.
record, I've never been the other woman. I've
Yeah.
almost been the other woman, but I've not actually been the other woman. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's honestly, I've been in a relationship so long that I don't know what um and I'm very friendly, so I never know when it's misinterpreted. Like I have no idea. Like I have no clue. I tend to be very open and chatty and stuff like that. So sometimes I get a little bit surprised when things are misinterpreted. So I just have no idea. So I've definitely been in that situation multiple times. So
Yeah. Oh, Jason said it's a song that men can relate to as well. That's good
ah,
to know.
what's it called?
The other woman.
Oh, it's called The Other Women. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it was basically about this guy who thought that I would be his other woman because he was chatting to me and everything, and then I found out he had a girlfriend, and he just carried on trying to talk to me, and I was like, what? There's just someone at uni. But yeah,
Oh.
I was more sort of angry that they thought that like they had the audacity to think that I would be the other woman, like, and I didn't even he wasn't even hot. That was the worst thing. I was like, are you serious? Like,
Megan.
he
It
wasn't. I'm
wouldn't
just
have been
saying.
worth it.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I was like, don't flatter yourself. Because I remember he added me on Facebook and he was like, oh, did you enjoy last night? I was like, sorry, I don't know you. I don't accept people I don't know. And he was like, we met last night. And I was like, I don't remember. Because it was a group of us that were out. So it wasn't that I was intoxicated or anything. But I mean, he was so forgettable. And it was just the audacity of him being so forgettable, but thinking I could be his other woman. I was like, whatever. Like, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have had kind of,
Um,
yeah, only one situation like that, but well,
oh,
more
only
in my,
one.
yeah. Before I was in a relationship, yeah, I guess I encountered certain,
How long did you say you've been with your partner?
oh my gosh, I'm like, I guess it must be, where are we? We're 2022, right?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, apparently I stopped counting years ago. No,
Feels
and
like it's 2020.
yeah, so we were 2006 we met.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me
Yeah,
do the math. Oh, yeah.
I can't do the math right now. I need another
What would
coffee.
be your advice then for
Yeah, for
a
like a
amazing
long-term
relationship? Yeah.
relationship. for a long-term relationship, for like in terms of happiness, for me, is just like is mutual respect. I think mutual respect is really important in the long term, because I think it doesn't matter what kind of an amazing person you are, the other person is, but if you take each other for granted and if people start feeling unappreciated, then I think things start to get really challenging at that point, and it's hard to get back to the point where you I don't know, I just feel like every person needs to feel seen and valued, and so I'm very much an advocate for that being a component of a happy long-term relationship.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's the simple things, like just little things that sometimes we just expect. It's like just being made a coffee every day. I kind of expect it, but I am grateful because I'm not alive until I drink it. So, yeah.
Me neither. I mean, I'm on my third cup right now, and I think I can't believe it. I don't sleep a lot lately.
Yeah.
I get way too little sleep. I go to bed I like 12:31 or something,
Oh,
because
wow.
yeah, because when by the time my kids fall asleep, it's 9 p.m. and then I need a few hours of freedom to just do a few things for myself and to kind of relax. So yeah.
I completely agree with you. Like when my son's with his father right now, but I'm kind of the same. Like I really need to just relax for a bit. Like I know I should go to bed, but I've got stuff, pointless stuff usually to do, and yeah, usually do all my lesson plans in the evening as well. But yeah, but no, I need more sleep. But coffee is amazing. I need to
Yeah.
write a song about coffee. Should we just write a song about coffee? Oh my God, like,
I do have a song about coffee.
oh, do
A love
you? Oh
song.
wow.
It's called Coffee and Cake. And it's
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah.
How have I not heard this? That's totally up my street.
Yeah, it's great. Maybe I'll send you the live version. It was
Yeah,
like the
send it to me.
first song, one of the first songs I wrote. It's like a cute little
Is it on
song.
Spotify?
No, I never put
Oh,
it
okay.
on
So I was thinking
Spotify.
I wouldn't have missed that.
But I was very
Coffee and cake,
proud.
that's a dream.
Yeah, I was very proud of the metaphors because it was comparing sweet loving to coffee and cake.
I do love a good metaphor. I once worked with this producer and I had a song called Monsoon, and he
Yeah.
thought it was about a literal monsoon. He was just like, "Oh, I can't believe you wrote a song about rain." And I was like, "Well, it's obviously not about that." And then I asked for like a bit of water in, and then it sounded like someone was weeing because there was just so much. It was like a waterfall of wee, and I was just like, I can't use this now.
Oh
But yeah.
no, it went the other
But yeah,
way.
no, I want to hear the song about coffee and cake. Okay, so this is a really, really, really serious, important question, and I need everybody to answer. What is the best cake? Okay,
Actually, walnut,
best cake.
coffee and walnut.
Yes, I completely agree. I love coffee and walnut cake. Definitely. What about you, Kinga?
Well, I like apple cake actually.
I don't think I've tried apple cake.
Apple cake. So Germany has a huge
Yeah.
bakery culture, a humongous bakery culture. It's crazy. Like there's a like in our area where we live, I would say like just surrounding us, there are like 15 bakeries with fresh cakes and fresh buns and all that
Oh
stuff.
my God.
Yeah, and one thing they have is this apple cake, this one bakery, where it's just like fresh apples in a cake. It's not a pie, it's just fresh apples in a cake
That
with
sounds really
homemade
nice.
whipped cream on the side. Yeah. Yeah. And it comes hot from the oven. So you
Oh
sit
my
there.
God. I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting hungry now, all this talk about cake.
Yeah.
And I can see Jason said carrot cake. Yeah, I would say carrot cake's my second favorite. I'm
Yeah.
not into those like Victoria sponge things, no. Or the synthetic icing, like that really horrible like plastic basic. I can't. I would rather go without. I'd rather like eat veg than
I know.
have that. So what a waste of calories.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Devil's food cake, is that something? I don't know. Devil's food
Oh,
cake.
that's like chocolate, right?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
I think so. Let me see. Is that in the comments? Oh, now I'm not seeing
Yeah,
it.
devil's food cake. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love chocolate as well. Like anything that's chocolatey. I like that.
Yeah, chocolate. Oh, I have a little confession. I don't know if you saw, but I said I was giving up chocolate for Lent. But then I
Yeah.
felt a bit rubbish yesterday. Was it the day before? I'm losing track of the days. When I got told about the nodules, I was really upset. So I was like, I'm going to go and eat chocolate now. So I did eat chocolate, and it was a mistake, and I committed a sin, I know, but yeah, so I haven't kept it, but I haven't had chocolate. Oh wait, no, I think I did have chocolate today. Whoops. Okay, tomorrow I'm not having chocolate. That's the plan. I've fallen off the wagon, but I'm getting back on it now.
But
I'm not
Megan,
even.
I on Sunday, because I was raised in a Catholic family, and we also did Lent every year, Lenten promises. I don't think I have one this year. No, I do, not eating bread. But anyway, on Sundays you can indulge.
Actually, my nan said that. Yeah, so maybe
Yeah,
I've had my Sunday already then.
yeah. So
Yeah.
just pretend it was Sunday.
Yes, exactly. It might have been Sunday. No, that wouldn't work. I was just going to say it might have been Sunday somewhere, but it wouldn't because it was Thursday. But you
Yeah,
never know, in some parallel universe of some kind.
yeah.
Um, Anyway, has anybody got anything that they'd like to ask or add to this conversation? It can be about cake or it can be about music or anything really, because otherwise I guess we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a request. Says there are two people we want to join. They're both male. Should I let them in?
I
I don't know.
ah
Oh, they've gone now. Sorry. Oh no, they're
okay.
back. Uh,
Sorry.
People who have requested, did you actually want to ask a question?
Maybe we'll just take the questions now instead of the video.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have any questions. I had one question. Oops. I currently have my phone on like a kid's chair propped up on another chair so I could be in front of a window.
Oh, you should see what I've got. I've got a Hot Wheels, if you know what that is, garage that I've got
Oh,
my phone on. I would take it off, but if I do that, I won't probably be able to get it back up. But yeah, so I'm in my son's playroom at the moment, and it's
oh,
a complete
please,
mess.
when you're done, take a picture of it, and then I'll take a picture of mine set up. We could have a good laugh about that.
Yeah, it's
Are
complete.
you gonna have this on your profile after, or are we gonna
It's
relive this?
quite long, isn't it? I could just well, I could send it to you, and you can see which bits that you want to keep on there, and they'll
Yeah.
just be like, "Oh, that Megan Strange, she's obsessed with cake." If I get a headline like that, that'll be quite nice, actually. Cake whore, yeah.
Absolutely. Wait. Oh, okay. I think it was just the motherhood and music thing. Like, but I think you already talked about that with the guilt, and that sometimes you have a little bit of guilt when in terms of time, right?
Yeah, and I think also when you think you're you're wanting to like create a song or something and you think, oh, I should be with my son right now, or if I'm wanting to, I mean, I haven't done it really since because of COVID and things, but like when I was pregnant, I was still gigging and I was wearing these ridiculous skyscrapers and none of the band knew that I was pregnant. And I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't be wearing these. Like, and I felt guilty for wearing them, but oh, the shoes were amazing. They were
Okay.
pink stiletto boots. They're so nice, but I did feel bad and I was thinking, I'm pregnant. Maybe I shouldn't be wearing these. And yeah, but I couldn't have worn trainers. It would have looked weird. But yeah, no, definitely lots of guilt all the time, really, actually. I'm feeling guilty now that I'm talking here and I can hear him over there.
Aw. Yeah, I can relate. My two are downstairs, and we did what was really nice is we got to record a song together, my kids and I. So for there was a German project that's integrating refugee children with the German children, and so the project was to write a song for the German kindergartens, like about diversity and stuff like that, because there's just so much going on that requires some more learning. And yeah, so I wrote that song in German. It was my first, like,
Oh, amazing. Well
yeah.
done.
And then I got them to record it with me. And that was really, really cool. And then we sent them both versions. But anyway, so then they played that and the program in the kindergartens. And then it was like their morning circle song. So it was really a cute experience. And they love going in the microphone and stuff like that. But when I really need to record something, I'm like, guys, please. Like the microphone's picking everything up, right? And
It really does, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you should share that. That would be really nice to see. But yeah, if I'm trying to play anything, he just obliterates it. Really, it's lovely, it's cute, but it's kind of like I can't do anything. And like I had this one producer who said, "Oh, just bring your son into the studio," and I was like, "No, you really don't know kids are like it won't work. He's like, oh, but he's cute. And I was like, yeah, he is, but he's a little troublemaker. Yeah, he'd be all over, like, I'd be in debt forever because he'd ruin the recording studio. He's so mischievous, but
It could be
he's amazing.
stressful, eh? Are you,
Yeah, definitely.
is it okay to ask if you, after this experience with your child, did you have any more children or?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Mm.
I've had 4. I had 2.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
I
Come
thought
back.
it was me.
Come back.
Oh no, suspense.
Oh, I have a question for Kinga. Are you still there? Oh, you have a son, Jason, 5-year-old son. If I spend time with him, I can do my music in 10
I
minutes as opposed to 2 hours, wondering if he's okay. Okay.
I think she's gone.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Now, yeah, now I'm bigger.
I know, it's like, what's going on? It's just changed, yeah. Uh, I
um,
was actually wondering the same thing, so yeah, and you asked, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was curious as well. I was wondering about that, yeah.
what's your question, Lee? It's Lee, right? Because I tend to address people by their usernames, but I think.
Yeah, so do I. I don't even know how I know he's called Lee. I don't think he even told me.
So he said he has a question for us, so we'll wait for that. And then Jason, you're saying that they fuel your life. Yeah, they do. I mean, if it wasn't for my kids, I would probably not be dancing and singing in the streets as I currently do. I mean, we have this big wagon bike. I don't know if you guys have those in England, Megan, but it's
Yeah,
called a
so,
battle bike. These, which has a big wagon in the front, like a box, and there's a bench
no.
in it. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, we blast music as we bike down the streets and we sing, and it's super fun. And they have their snacks.
Oh,
So what's the music scene like in Germany right now? Well, I guess with the literally since COVID started, a lot of stuff changed to like live streams from the music venue, which wasn't my particular cup of tea to get involved with that. I just preferred like the live setting. So I haven't been really that active in the live music scene, like in Hamburg, where I'm from. It was really going great before the pandemic, though. There was a lot of open stages and like support for newcomers, like in terms of singer-songwriters and stuff like that. And the sound is a bit different, I think, than like every time I come to Canada, and I turn on the radio, I hear like bare naked ladies playing, and like there's just like different songs are more folky. Or in Toronto, I've had like more the live venues I've played at were more folk, country type of things. That's where I was, but yeah. So so much respect and love to you too. Hello from Syria.
oh,
Hello.
you're so good at saying hello to people. I don't, as soon as I click it, it comes up
Well,
with all
we
these
got
options, and I'm just like,
Ghana
yeah.
and we got Syria, and so nice to see you. But yeah, so with the live music scene there, a lot of the festivals and stuff were canceled like that, and most of the music venues were doing live streams from the venue. So I don't know what it's going to be like now. Yeah, no, thank you for the question. I hope I answered it correctly. I would love to see, but there's like, for example, there's where Hamburg is by a port. It's a port city. So they have a lot of stuff going on at the port, and they had a lot of music festivals. Yeah, everything was canceled. And I really, really hope it comes back again. Yeah.
I'm sure it will, even if it's like in 10 years.
Yeah, there's been a lot of financial support for artists though, and there's been a lot of like initiatives and things to try to help. There's been a lot of there's an organization that is really beautiful. They do they get like singer-songwriters to sing outside of a senior's home or like a hospital, like outside, so they can kind of look from their windows. And
Oh,
so
that's nice.
yeah, so I've seen a lot of kind of creative things happen, like people singing from balconies and concerts from balconies. A lot of
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I'm on this portal that hires musical entertainers, and I did a few gigs that was on someone's terrace, where they just open up the window, or the sliding door, and I'm singing and playing for an hour, and they're enjoying their birthday party or whatever. I had a really nice situation for a couple's anniversary where I was doing that. I was just playing they wanted Shakira and ABBA, so
Whoa.
it was like pretty cold.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the era, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but they were celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary, and I got to be a part of that on their beautiful terrace. And so where there's a wall, there's a window, I guess.
Yeah, nice. Oh,
Could be
pretty
a
cool.
song.
That could be a song. We should just like transcribe all of it and use all of it to
Yes.
just get a new song or something. But I need to hear this coffee and cake song, and I need to get coffee and eat cake whilst I listen
Okay,
to it.
same here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the best. Next time we'll do it. We'll be eating cake, and we'll be like, which cake shall I eat now?
Okay, that's what we'll have to do. The next live
Yeah,
will be coffee and cake
coffee
theme.
and cake. Yes, or maybe coffee and cakes.
Yeah. Yes. I love it. Yay!
Well,
Thank you.
it's been lovely to talk with you and people on here, even if I haven't seen the messages and I just look like an imbecile. But yeah, and sorry that Callie, we didn't get to completely talk to you in the end. But yeah, this has been fun.
Yes, it has been. And thank you everyone who came and stopped by to join. I wish we could see your faces and
Yeah, exactly. Like it would be so cool. I thought more people were going to show themselves. It feels like I'm like when you're teaching and then you're the only person that everyone can see, and like all your
Mhm.
students, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't see anyone, and sometimes you're like, am I talking to myself? But it's been nice seeing you because last time I did a live, it was just me on my own, so I was like, can anyone hear me?
I don't think I'll ever do a live on my own again. So I feel it's so lonely. So I really appreciated doing this together. And yeah, and I feel like you're my friend now.
Oh, we're friends. Yeah, we're friends. Uh, Someone said they want to ask a question. Okay, go on
Okay,
then.
bring it
Okay.
on for Megan. Question.
Suspense.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, we're not even that far away from each other, really. Germany and England, they're quite close.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, there it is.
Where is it? Oh, for goodness sake, are you serious? I'm not even going to answer that. Like, this is what I'm on about. Like, seriously. Right, I think we're going to end this now.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with music, so
Lo-
you
Lovely.
two, you two,
Such
you
an
two can.
ironic, don't you think?
Yeah, you should have come here earlier, hun, and then you'd have seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Go
oh,
on.
I love his response.
Tell me. Well,
Scale
I'm
of
actually going to go and have an alcoholic beverage now, so
Mhm.
think I
Me
need that.
too.
Yeah, we will reconvene with coffee and cake, or maybe it should be what do you drink? Do you drink rum, gin? What's
Oh
your
gosh,
topic?
you know what? I'm a bit all over the place depending on the venue or like the mood. But when I'm in Canada, I drink beer, or like gin and tonic or something like that.
Oh yeah, gin and
Yeah,
tonic. Oh,
yeah. And then I
yeah.
find in Hamburg there's like some really nice cocktail bars and stuff. Like a couple of nice ones around where it's amazing. So then I'll go for a cocktail or.
Maybe we could do a thing where we are making our cocktail, and yeah, we make the cocktail and have a chat whilst doing it. We just get
Ooh,
drunk, even if nobody's
margaritas
there.
and
But yeah.
music. Would we do
Yeah, that
margarita?
sounds good.
All
But yeah,
right.
you need to send me the recipe though, because yeah, I do this thing where I usually just put anything in and hope that it tastes nice, and I do that with food as well.
Oh,
And then yeah,
that's how I cook and that's how I,
yeah,
yes.
that's why I don't cook. That's why I don't cook. Nobody likes my food. It's disgusting. If the dog won't eat it, I know there's something wrong with it. But yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you also Stingray Bass for being here for the whole entire, I think, time for being,
Oh, bless you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he said he got kicked out at one point for some reason. Maybe there is some,
Oh,
but you're back
yeah.
and
Thanks, Jason, for skiving work to come. So I appreciate
yeah.
that.
And thank you, Jason, for engaging and everyone who's been here. Okay, I have a feeling if we don't end now, we'll never end it. So
Yeah, exactly. We talk all night. Right, goodbye, everyone.
bye. See you.
I don't actually know how to exit this. Is it just the cross? Yeah, it is just the cross, right? Bye. End video.